Hello, I'm Jim Benson, and welcome to the American Veteran. Our program is designed to help you better understand the Department of Veterans Affairs and its commitment to ensure veterans get the services they've earned. I'm here today in the National Building Museum located in Washington, D.C. It was designed in the 1880s by civil engineer and U.S. Army General Montgomery C. Meigs. We picked this location to bring you our first program for a special reason. This museum was originally constructed as a memorial to the soldiers, sailors, and Marines of the Civil War, and as the home of the United States Pension Bureau. This was the first federal agency to serve veterans on a national scale. It's tangible evidence of the very beginnings of how our nation honors and makes real its debt of gratitude to those who have worn the uniform of our country and earned the right to be called an American veteran. So stay tuned, and we'll show you how veterans can qualify for significant savings when pursuing higher education and technical training, VA heart specialists in Texas using gene therapy to help their patients, how our national cemetery system honors those who have served our country, and a very special group of veterans who have recently been recognized. Perhaps the best known benefit is the Montgomery GI Bill, named for longtime chairman of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, former Mississippi Congressman Sonny Montgomery. Here you'll meet a few people who are taking advantage of this benefit and one who already used the Montgomery GI Bill to make his dream come true.
I've been in broadcasting now since 1972, and it's all because of the Navy. Without the GI Bill, I was not going to be able to afford to go back to school, but I was able to go back to school because of the GI Bill.
When the original GI Bill was enacted in 1944, if you weren't wealthy or one of a select few, chances are you weren't going to go on to college.
The GI Bill has had a huge effect on this country. It has been called the gateway to the middle class, or the magic carpet to the middle class.
It's really helped me in today's job market. It gave me the confidence to do some of the things that I've been able to accomplish.
It wasn't until probably about my second tour in the Army that I started looking at education as something to enhance on or build on once I started to set myself up to get out of the Army. The career goal I started out with was a bachelor's degree. After I finished my undergraduate, I went on and worked on my master's and completed that this past year.
We pay VA benefits if you're attempting an associate degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, or doctorate, even medical residencies and vocational training. We have on-the-job training and apprenticeship programs as well. There is also the Licensing and Certification Test Reimbursement Program and a GI Bill for active reservists. The Dependents Education Program really is designed for spouses or children of seriously disabled or deceased veterans.
My father, he is Hassan Rashid Abdullah Sr., and he was in the Navy. He was in the Navy for approximately about a year, and then he had passed away while he was in the Navy.
Without the help of the work-study program and the Dependents Education Program, Khadijah would probably not have been able to afford her education.
I receive a monthly allowance so that I can pay for my tuition, my books, my transportation back and forth to school. My father, he would be very pleased at the things that we are doing now.
I would just like to encourage everyone. It's their benefit. They've earned it. They've paid for it. Use it.
One of the more revolutionary features of this magnificent building is that the stairs were designed with deep treads and shallow risers so disabled Civil War veterans could climb them more easily. Today, our VA doctors and scientists have developed practices that have revolutionized medicine. VA researchers pioneered the first treatments for high blood pressure, developed the cardiac pacemaker, and diagnostic procedures such as the CAT scan and the MRI. And VA remains a world leader in the development of computer-fabricated artificial limbs. Can we really use our growing knowledge of how genes work to actually cure a disease? To find out, we went to the VA Medical Center in Houston, Texas. There, doctors are using gene therapy as an option for the treatment of heart disease.
The VA actually has one of its missions to do clinical research, and we have actually been in the cutting edge of most of the trials that have gone on looking at new therapies for the treatment of heart disease. There are some patients who have such severe blockages of their coronary arteries, the heart arteries, that there's nothing we can do to fix them. We can't do a balloon procedure, an angioplasty, and we can't do a bypass operation.
The gene therapy trial represents a new approach to attempting to care for patients that have advanced blockages in their coronary arteries. Now, right now, we're working in the heart, but blood vessel growth will be important when there are blockages in other areas of the body.
Research is essential to what we do for several reasons. One, that's where we gain new knowledge about health and healthcare delivery. And it's those investments in discovering what the next phase of healthcare needs to be that allow us to train our current providers, train the next generation of providers, and we think improve the healthcare opportunities, not just for veterans in Houston, veterans across the country, and if we do it well, the entire population.
The Pension Building is often described as a memorial to Civil War veterans, since the terracotta frieze that surrounds the building depicts infantry, cavalry, artillery, naval, medical, and quartermaster units from that war. We have many monuments around our great nation, but none more important than what VA has to offer, providing burial benefits for veterans and their families. To find out more, we visited one of the nation's largest, Calverton National Cemetery, just an hour outside New York City.
In 1862, President Abraham Lincoln signed into law legislation authorizing the establishment of national cemeteries for the soldiers who shall die in the service of their country. And 14 cemeteries were established that year. Currently, the VA maintains 120 national cemeteries in 39 states and Puerto Rico. Burial in a national cemetery is an honor reserved for U.S. Armed Forces veterans, their spouse, and eligible dependents. This burial benefit is provided to all veterans, men and women who receive an honorable discharge from service from active duty.
Some reservists may also be eligible and should contact their local VA office for more information.
What we encourage the family members to do is to have the veterans' military papers together so that they can locate them in the time of need. If you can't locate the paperwork, we go to the National Archives and we can assist the families with the appropriate documentation that's needed.
More than 2 million Americans, including veterans from the Revolutionary War to the Iraqi War, are honored by burial in VA national cemeteries. Calverton is also one of the final resting places for veterans who lost their lives in the attack on the World Trade Center.
We operate year-round, regardless of the weather. When you arrive here, if you're not sure where your loved one is, all you have to do is stop into our administrative office. We have kiosks, so if you want to do it privately, you can put the information in. It's a user-friendly computer system, and you key in your relative's name, and it'll give you a grave site location and also print a map. For those people who want the human contact, you can go to our reception desk, and we have staff members who can assist you. Each and every employee is dedicated to providing a dignified burial to the veterans that we take care of. They all do a wonderful job, and they're really committed to what we have to do here. It is a national cemetery. It's a shrine.
Since the building was built, it has been the home to 15 presidential inaugural festivities, beginning with President Grover Cleveland in 1885 and continuing up to the current day. This presidential seal, rendered in tile, was laid in 1901, just prior to the inaugural ball for Theodore Roosevelt. Well, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the armistice that halted the Korean War. 3 days of festivities held in Washington, D.C. honored those who served. VA Secretary Anthony J. Principi commemorated the anniversary by hosting a very special event called the National Salute to Korean War Veterans.
It is my great privilege and my great honor to thank all Korean War veterans for your service to America. America's servicemen and women on the ramparts of freedom and our nation's veterans are the true strength of our nation. Our gratitude for your service and our respect for your mighty accomplishments knows no bounds. May God keep us ever grateful.
William H. Bowen, an Army veteran who served in Korea in 1951, told us what the event meant to him.
To remember, really, the guys who didn't come back.
Master of Ceremonies was Ed McMahon, a decorated Korean War Marine Corps fighter pilot.
Nice to be here. Could I be reintroduced again? Tonight, I think especially I should be called Colonel Ed McMahon, don't you think?
Entertainment included the Platters, the Drifters, Randy Travis, and to express their gratitude to the Korean War veterans, the Republic of Korea's Kyunghee University Dance Troupe gave a moving performance. We would like to take this opportunity to thank the National Building Museum for allowing us to bring you our very first program from this wonderful remembrance to American veterans. I'm Jim Benson. Thanks for watching The American Veteran.